it comes to the culinary industry. This dude is highly revered.
Yes.
I introduced him to Heather and Tracy's life.
We start with lies.
I'm just saying they knew nothing about this man until they found out about my private spot where I choose to dine that I don't tell people about. And Heather and them stumbled on it and been telling the world ever since. And so we invited my friend here today. Heather, can you do the intro, please?
Wow, and tell the truth with it.
Okay, citizens, it's Sway in the morning. Just one quick question, Chef. When did Lure open? What year?
So it was a restaurant before. It was called Canteen.
Okay.
Then they switched it to Laurel. I think it's been there about 23 years. So
Okay.
about 23, 24.
Watch me work. Chef.
Yup.
Okay.
She gonna whip it.
So, Sway, how long have you been in New York?
23 years.
Okay.
Thank you.
I've been a New Jerseyan all my life.
That's right.
However, I moved to 565 Broadway in 1992 when I was doing a little show y'all might have heard of called The Real World.
I've heard of that.
Okay, a little show, a little something.
Okay.
Down the street from The Real World was a restaurant that Chef is speaking of now. And so that space turned to Lure Fish Bar, which Sway would sneak and go to once he got to New York. And I'm sure some industry person originally told him about it.
Like a little rat.
Yes.
He hid this place from us citizens. Not that it was hiding in or anything, but he hid the fact that he would go and meet up with his fancy industry friends.
Al B.
Whatever.
You know Al B?
Yeah, we know exactly. That's whatever.
That was the friend
He
that
hid
I
the
known
place.
since the 90s.
He is coming to the studio, citizens, and everybody watching on the Sway's Universe channel right now for 12 consecutive years and told us about so many ratty and crappy places that he went to go eat and failed to mention Lure's Fish Bar. So what does a beautiful, educated black woman do? We find the truth on our own.
Always.
So Tracy G and I decided to take a class.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of class?
We took a recreational culinary course.
Okay.
And we took it at Macy's. Shout out to my guy, Sal.
Uh-huh.
And we sat there so happy and so excited. I told Tracy about this class because there was this beautiful, educated chef that was going to be teaching this class by the name of Chef Preston Clark. And I said, Tracy, he has a space downtown in Soho area. So Tracy and I went and we sat in the front of the class and we raised our hands like proud students and we had questions for every meal he prepared.
Star pupils.
And afterwards, we asked the chef, can we take a picture with you? We love you. And he said, you girls were great. What do you do? And we said, we do radio. We work on a little show called Sway in the Morning. We work with Sway. And he said, Sway? That's my guy.
Tell the truth.
He comes to the restaurant all the time. And the nail in the coffin, citizens of Sway in the Morning and
Tell the
everybody
truth.
watching Sway's Universe. Chef Preston then said to Tracy G and I, looked us in the face and said, I'm surprised he never bought you. So not only did we bring ourselves, we have told each and every citizen ever since we met Chef Preston about Lure's Fish Bar, and now the citizens are flooding his place. Welcome to the show, finally with us, Chef Preston Clark. And that was the truth. That is the truth.
Whatever.
Yup.
Somehow I made it about you and Tracy.
Okay. Sometimes you gotta combat the fakery and the elitism, citizens.
Chef will clear up the mess, Sway. Chef, what happened?
Let's find out about Chef Preston Clark real
y'all
quick,
doing?
man. How you doing, brother? Welcome to the show.
Fantastic. Appreciate it.
Your official title is Executive Chef at Lure's Fish Bar, correct?
Yeah, corporate executive chef and culinary director.
What does
Wow.
that mean? Like for folks who just go to eat but don't understand the mechanics of
Right.
the culinary industry, corporate executive. What's the difference? What makes that unique?
So I not only oversee just one location, I oversee a couple of locations.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
How many? 3?
2 at the moment. Two lures. There's one lure at Manhattan, which is the flagship of our company, and then there's Lure Chicago, the I think it's the River North neighborhood. And then I also help out at some of the other restaurants in the company. Mercer Street Hospitality.
You're a black man.
I am a black man.
Where you from? Where your people from? What's the origin of your?
So it's a long story for me. My parents from New York. I was born in Manhattan. My father from Brooklyn. My mother from Queens. I was born in New York. We moved to Jersey. We moved to Los Angeles. Then we moved to Virginia.
Wow.
I graduated high school in Jersey.
In Jersey. Okay, so he's a Jersey guy. All right. Okay.
Back to Jersey, right?
No round of applause for that. When I saw sometime last year, I was sitting down with your mom, and I believe, was it your auntie? Or,
Yeah.
Yes, your mom and your auntie, and they were headed to Ghana or Africa, or parts of Africa, right? How are they?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
They're trying to plan a family trip to Ghana.
Okay, let me know when that happens.
Yes, sir.
So, listen, citizens, if you're interested in the culinary industry, if you're interested in just food, nutrition, tradition, culture, 888-742-3345. Your entry to culinary is through your dad.
Yes.
Can you speak on your dad?
Absolutely. His name is Patrick Clark. He died, I guess, in 1998. When he passed away, he was the executive chef of Tavern on the Green.
Oh, snap.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
In the middle of Central Park?
Yeah, in the middle of Central Park. He was, 1981, he was the opening chef of Odeon.
Yes.
Wow.
Tribeca, and a whole host of restaurants in between.
Did he force you to get into culinary? Or?
Absolutely not. No. I just got into it on my own. Following my father's footsteps. So you start with that admiration of your father and your family and what's going on, and I started going to work with him when I was younger, and I just kind of fell in love with it.
Do you remember what that very first dish was that you just executed to the nines?
It was a pasta dish, penne pasta. I was on the pasta station.
Yeah.
And it was a rush, and it was like, oh, we need the food now, and I got all the sauteing pans going, and I got the Parmesan cheese and the pasta, and I was just like, oh, this is it for me.
Yeah,
I love it.
You know what I'm curious about is, I don't know if it's the elephant in the room or not, or I'm not that familiar with the industry, but I'm wondering, how did you rise to the top? Being a black man, do the racial lines play a part in the culinary industry as it does in many other places? What was that journey like? What kind of pit stops did you hit? What kind of challenges did you have?
I think there's going to be challenges everywhere, especially as a black man. You're always going to hit those challenges.
Yeah.
I think the key is just kind of keep your head down. In my culinary journey, I started. Where did I start? I started going to work with my father. Then I just, because of my family and the family history, I did have a little bit of a leg up jumping into some of the different restaurants. Okay. So I started working on. I worked at Windows in the World with Chef Michael Lamonaco. And then what would happen is I would give up my summers, and I would work throughout my summers in between school. So right after I graduated high school, I took off to Chicago and I worked at a restaurant called Charlie Trotter. Yeah. So I was at Charlie Trotter's for a little while. Then I went to culinary school. Then I came back and I worked in Westchester for a little while. Then I came down to the city and I worked for Jean Georges. I worked for Jean Georges for many years, about 7 years. So I was with Jean Georges proper over there in Central Park, Central Park West for about 5 years. Then I got promoted to sous chef. Took over a restaurant called JoJo in 64th and Lexington. Yeah. Then I left and went to open up a restaurant for Sammy Hagar and Tyler Florence in San Francisco, just in Mill Valley.
What was that restaurant called?
It was called El Paseo.
El Paseo.
El Paseo.
I'm sure I ate there.
Yeah.
Didn't tell nobody.
Yeah. That was good. That was a steakhouse restaurant. That was a steakhouse. That was a great experience. I got a lot of love for California. I went out there, and that's when I got a James Beard nomination off of it.
Okay, Cali, that's what we do. We upgrade you.
High honor.
Heather, you want to jump in?
I do, Chef. I remember being in your class, and I believe you shared with so many of us that you became fluent in Spanish.
Yes.
To work to communicate with folks that would be in the kitchen.
I don't know if that was the original reason, but I started when I moved to California. So when I was growing up, I moved to California. We moved to Los Angeles when I was about in 4th grade. Mm-hmm. In 4th grade, I took after-school Spanish class. And so
you didn't share that part at first. Okay,
yeah, so 4th grade after-school Spanish class. So it's like the days of the week and the numbers and whatnot. And so I think my love for the language kind of started there, and then I took a little bit in high school. I failed 1 year, like my sophomore year in high school. I think I failed. I'd love to see that teacher now.
Yeah, right.
And then, just as I picked up and then working in kitchens, your confidence builds. I felt like I had a lot of education,
Yeah.
and a lot of knowledge, but you don't have the confidence, como confidencia. You know what that like? And so once you have the confidence, nobody wants to sound like an idiot. But once you have the confidence to speak, then you start speaking with people, and then people correct you.
You're like the confidenza.
Oh, please, Sway. Well, no, because I recently went to Italy, and I fell in love with wanting to learn the language, just to communicate. I didn't have the confidence. I would know little words. Right. But how important is it, to your point, to keep learning, even at your level? Do you take courses? Do you read cookbooks? Like, what do you do to keep learning?
I really just talk to people at this point. I think on the street, I'm a street guy. When I hear, like, especially when it comes to Spanish, like, the more you speak to the people, the more people teach you, the more you understand the culture. And then once you understand the culture, you're able to communicate with people on a different level. And you understand, and then
it feels more relatable.
Exactly, absolutely, and they're more relatable. There's a trust level. They trust you a little bit more, and so you know that you're on the same page. And it's been tremendously important. Tremendously important to the tune that I've had no turnover. I've had no turnover for about 10 years.
What does that mean?
That the same guys that have been working for me in the kitchen for the past 10 years are still the same guys.
Oh,
Everybody came
Chef,
after the
no
pandemic.
way.
It feels it was always interesting to hear in the restaurant industry people talking about how it's so hard to find cooks, and the industry is dry, and you can't find anybody to work, and people don't want to work anymore. But I never had experienced any of those problems. Not bragging, but
they want to work with you, man. That's
exactly.
I want to talk about behind the scenes in the kitchen, and that's a fascinating statistic right there. No turnover in 10 years. Chef Preston Clark, he's the corporate executive chef of Lure Fish Bar. You can find it in New York City, Soho. Those are ones. Is it in Miami?
No longer in Miami.
No longer in Miami.
One in Soho and Chicago.
There you go, man. Listen, if you want to get in the culinary industry, all the questions you want to know, it's a lot of great food shows on TV. Whatever you want to know, this man is our inside plug. 888-742-3345. The one and only Chef Preston Clark is here. He comes from a family of culinary royalty. Anything you want to know about the culinary industry, this is a different level, though. This ain't... No offense to the chefs at other locations, but this is a whole higher. The experience you have at Lure is different from any other experience, and not even because of Lure as much as it is because of Chef Preston Clark.
Appreciate that.
And not a knock on Lure. It's a great place, excellent venue. I like sitting at that bar, in that area. It's cozy, it's warm, it's great. It's like the inside of a yacht or something. And I've been going there for years till Heather and Tracy blew up my spot.
Oh, please.
Which I still go. But you got any questions, 888-742-3345. Lewis on the line from Baltimore. Lewis.
What up, Lou?
Hey, Lewis.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, family?
Hey.
How y'all doing?
We
Doing
excellent,
great.
man. Say hello to Chef Preston Clark.
Hey, Chef Preston Clark.
What do you say, boss? How are you? How you doing?
I'm good. Me and my lady, we was in the spot back in October.
Excellent.
We had a great time.
Excellent.
So
you wasn't there that night, but I did not know you had. There was one in Chicago. We're going to be in Chicago in June.
Perfect.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, it's going to be about 20 of us. We're coming up here for a big cycling event. So we're going to check out that spot. Are you at both locations?
I go back and forth between both locations. I do have a chef out there, my old sous chef. His name is Nepatali Mendoza. He's a fantastic chef. He can definitely take care of you. But you make sure you let us know when you're going out there, and we'll make sure we take care of you.
Beautiful.
And go to that chef.
I definitely will.
Hey, Lewis, tell your wife I said peace. This Lewis who came to One Music Fest?
Yeah, from Baltimore.
My man, Lewis! My man. Hey, what's up, Lou? You good?
What's up, man? Yeah, we come back up there soon. When we come back up there, I'm going to bring y'all the best crab cakes from Baltimore. When we come back.
Okay.
Wait, hold up. Chef Clark smirked when you said that. He literally smirked. Why you smirking, man?
Oh, no. I love Baltimore. I love those crab cakes of Baltimore. I mean, I got a good crab cake recipe too, though.
Yeah. Yo, when we were there last 2 weeks ago, and it was bringing those little crab cakes out with the toothpicks in them.
Oh, my
Little mini
gosh.
crab cakes.
Little mini crab cakes? That was you.
Most definitely.
Yes. Okay.
That's the Patrick Clark crab cake recipe.
That's your dad. Wow.
The legend.
It's in the book. Heather got the book. Louis, we love you. You're a super citizen, brother. All right.
Sway in the morning.
Yes.
Heather
Okay,
about
see
it.
you
She got
soon.
the
Look,
book.
you bring him up now. Chef Preston Clark, corporate executive chef at Lure Fish Bar. Just to give some of your accolades, where did you go to school?
The Culinary Institute of America.
All right. And then you went and worked at different places, including Jean Orhe von Gerichten.
Yeah, Jean-Georges von Richten. Yeah.
Okay. Who is that?
He's definitely one of the best chefs ever, if you ask me. He's been doing it for.
Tippity top. He one of the hoes.
Sway thought you was gonna say in New York.
Who said ever?
Yeah, he's definitely one of the best chefs ever.
He's
He's definitely
one
one
of
of the
the
best chefs
hoes.
ever. I'm definitely from that school. It's where I really learned the real marrying of French techniques with Southeast Asian ingredients.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you can't just put anything on top of anything,
No,
right?
absolutely not.
Okay. Yeah, Heather, I could cook. We got Brother Luck on the line from Colorado.
That's a chef. Brother, yeah.
Yeah, we got Brother Luck on the line from Colorado. Brother Luck.
Hey, what's good? What's good, y'all? Man,
Hey, brother, how are you?
Yo.
I wanna give some love to Chef because his pops is royalty. Like, I don't think y'all catching on like how influential that man was within so many of us. Like, many black chefs looked up to who he is and who he was. And I love that you continue in the legacy, my brother. Like,
Patrick
Thanks
Clark.
Thanks a lot, baby. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. That means a lot.
Like,
Wow.
We're definitely
man,
out here.
like,
We're definitely out
we
here. We're
wouldn't
definitely out here
have
with our
to-
nose to the grindstone.
Yeah, right?
We wouldn't have the Marcuses without your pops. Like, that is, like, as someone who came up in the industry without a father, like, that was who we were idolizing.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So,
that's great.
like, much props to continuing that legacy. And when you talk about turnover and not having it, it just goes to show the values, man. So keep grinding and keep representing us, brother.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, baby. You got it.
Chef-
100%.
Chef Brother Luck, Chef Preston is an amazing citizen of our show. He actually has a book out of his own. Chef, you mind sharing the title and everything?
Wow.
Hey, it's called No Luck's Given. Bay Area represent. Yee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, Sway. Yeah, Sway. Say sorry to me, Sway.
I'm sorry, Heather.
See?
Yo, Brother Luck. Yee.
Hey.
Shut up, Sway.
Brother Luck.
It's a beautiful man here, Sway.
Where'd you grow up, Brother Luck?
I grew up in Vallejo, San Francisco, and Oakland.
Come
So,
on, man. What
town
part of
business all day?
town business? What part of Oakland? Give me a street.
Polar Bears, baby, 40-46 in Market.
Oh, shit. What's that, North Oakland?
We up north, man.
Yeah, North Oakland. Oh, okay. My man Wood got that, what's the name of his restaurant over there? I think it's on Market, too, the barbecue pit, barbecue spot. When I think of it, I'll say it out loud. My man Wood got it. I can't think of the name of it. It's excellent. But Brother Luck, man.
No, we stay out there, man. Shouts out to Nelson. That's my brother. Nelson Jermaine, that's my guy from Top Chef.
Yeah.
Family. So we stay out there.
Hey, man, thanks for calling, Brother Luck. You're a super citizen,
It's Sway in the
man.
morning.
Hey.
Tracy G.
Yo, Chef Preston Clark.
How you
So
doing?
happy we finally made this happen,
Likewise,
bro.
my darling.
Oh,
Likewise,
my
my
goodness.
dear. It's nice to see you.
Hell yeah. You know what I'll be thinking about? How, culinary arts has always been celebrated, especially when it comes to the spectacular chefs. But I would say in the day of social media and personal branding, we're really seeing black chefs in particular become like rock stars. I'm thinking of yourself. I'm thinking about Chef Kwame at Tatiana's. I'm thinking about our friends over at Ghetto Gastro. And it makes me wonder, with that superstar title now, do y'all chefs have groupies?
Nah, I mean, I don't have no groupies. I think that there's always a situation, at least in my very humble experience, where there's people that get excited about people who are doing well and on that path of success. I don't know if some people might get crazy. I don't know. I keep a pretty even keel.
Okay. Because I think about the popularity of,
Right.
Now where folks know a lot of chefs by name,
Right,
and
right.
also just food being a language of love. With the popularity around chefs, has that been something that has been easy for you to adapt to?
I think at least for me, if you do it in the correct way, like you're always going to have a following. If you're doing well and people are excited about your food and excited what you stand for and they're excited about your execution, then people are going to come follow you and people are going to return. And it's in the restaurant business, it's the restaurant industry. So people, the saying is, the food brings them there and then the service brings them back. So people, if people are excited about you and they're excited about what you're doing and they're keeping up with you and to see where you're going, you're definitely going to get a following. But it's just like I say keep it humble. Don't get crazy. You don't get crazy.
Word.
You spoke about execution, Chef, and Sway mentioned those mini crab cakes. I think a lot of times in the kitchen, you can easily get intimidated through presentation. You can make the best meal, you tasted it, you did everything, and then now I have to plate it.
Right.
The way those crab cakes came out, even Sway remembered, with the little, it was absolutely beautiful. And it racked my brain. Like, how did he get them so small and fried so perfectly? There was no crumbles left on the end. And then the fried oysters, and I know that's in your dad's, this salute to your dad, which, by the way, is an amazing book, you guys.
What's it called?
It's Cooking with Patrick Clark. But it's a tribute. And so many great chefs participated in this as well. But did you watch your dad in terms of execution? Because I see the fried oysters in there as well.
So not so much. I think the biggest part that my father really imparted on me is the work ethic and the persistence. What you do now sets the precedent for what you can do later. Right, so it was really more about a work ethic and how to work and how to show up and how to be a man. The actual technique came later because he passed away when I was about 16. So all of the technique that I learned. I mean, there's definitely a few techniques that I memories that I have growing up. Watching him in the kitchen, watching my mother in the kitchen. So there's definitely some of that. But the more technical techniques that we're talking about, like no crumbs and the nice perfect plating, that came a little bit later.
That came later on.
A little bit later.
Let's talk about with the caller, Chef
Brother Luck
mentioned a lot of the culinary shows. Next, what is it? Some of the shows.
Top
Chef.
That's Next Food Network Star. Chopped. There's a lot of shows up there.
When you see those shows, like I know early on when we used to see like people would do variety shows around hip hop, I always hated it.
Why?
It just wasn't authentic to me.
It felt performative.
It was performative. It was
like
content.
Satire.
Felt like a content grab. The people was there representing, wasn't really representatives.
That part.
That kind of stuff. But hey, it's entertainment.
Right.
How do you see these culinary shows?
I kind of go both ways on them. I see these culinary shows as definitely an opportunity for people to get exposure, to get a chance to really showcase their skill in front of a large audience. My father was on Iron Chef, the original Iron Chef. I don't know if you know the Japanese show. He's actually on the credits. You see this big black dude walking out right in the credits. And I remember when he went over there to Japan, and he went with my mother, and they participated in I guess it was like a Iron Chef Olympics, and he had created something to the tune of like a sushi club sandwich or something like that. And I remember the feedback that I got when he came back was that the judges weren't really judges, and it was much more about the ratings, and it was much more all these different variables that was not so much about the actual cooking. And and that kind of skewed me from the beginning about going on any of those shows. I've been asked to go on a couple of them. I don't know. I don't know if I know 100% if it's my thing. Like we'll see. I mean, I've been a judge on a show before. But as a competitor, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
I see you being the sponsor of the show.
Right.
You're not the competitor. You're the guy that comes out and say who wins.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's not you. You telling us this is why I picked this judge and this is. That's who you are.
I mean, that's at least what I would strive for. I mean, I feel like my days of maybe trying to do to compete or
you've already won.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm saying?
With yourself?
Yeah, people are competing to beat you.
What other thing I noticed about the business, and just from inside information I've had, and even talking with Heather, it's just a really vigorous, occupation to have. I didn't realize how intense it is, high stress it can be.
Absolutely.
Which leads people in many ways to finding crutches to deal with it, to cope with it. A lot of times it's substance abuse.
Drinking.
Drinking in the kitchen, drinking because you're in the kitchen, cocaine so you can stay up.
Yeah.
What has been your experience with that personally? And then what have you experienced from other coworkers?
You know, I mean, I've definitely seen some. I've definitely seen some people, you know, manage their stress in not the most positive ways. For me, I'm a musician.
Okay.
I kind of came up. I came up in music. You know, I played the Suzuki method violin when I was a kid.
Oh.
Right. I played the saxophone all throughout high school. I played the bassoon. I played the piano. I picked up a guitar. So I feel like music for me is an outlet. If I'm just playing some music, I got a little piano, a little stand-up piano in my house. Or if you know, if I'm listening to music. You know, I've been doing this Jada Kiss thing recently. It's been kind of fun.
Okay, what are you doing? You biting his lyrics? What are you doing?
I'm just listening to some of those old songs. And you know, that's kind of my outlet. Aside from, I got a 12-year-old son, so I spend a lot of time with my son. I spend time with my brothers and sisters. So I got to get really crazy like that. I mean, I'll have a Modelo every now and then.
But have you ever had to counsel someone that you work with that you knew was going through it?
Most definitely. But just making sure that people aren't drinking too much. Got to watch out for the, you know.
So it's the drinking, not the coke.
Yeah, I think so.
It's the drinking because even in recreation, even in recreational courses, they give you. It's always alcohol. I mean, it's just like have a glass of wine with this. Try. It's just always. It's part of it,
especially because of pairings. Yes.
And then pairings. Oh, hey chef, how you doing? Here's a bottle of wine. Hey chef, how you doing? Here's a bottle of Jack Daniels. Hey chef, how you doing? Here's a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue. Like you gotta make sure you don't go off the rails with them.
If you could be the executive chef for the entire, I'm gonna say black community, and if you could write us up a schedule of foods to eat and foods, how would you change our diets? Not that we're monolithic and we all eat the same, of course not, but there is a core existence of how a lot of us have, you know, grown up eating fried foods, pig. You know, all of this different stuff that we've eaten.
Right.
That's why we have high cholesterol, high blood pressure. You know, these things contribute to it.
Right.
How could we reverse our eating habits in our community, and what would you suggest?
I think it's just a matter of exploring and just exploring the different types of flavors and flavor profiles that you like. You know, I think you know once you understand the different flavor profiles from the different parts of the world. So you know, I like I said, I'm a little bit keen to Southeast Asia, so I like the lemongrass and I like the kaffir limes. I like that. You know, I like the Thai chilies, spice. I think I would really explore seafood. You know, raw seafood. I think is a big thing. Raw fish, raw fluke. You know, raw hamachi, raw Arctic char. And then I would go soy. I like soy, so I like the different types of soy sauces, different types of vinegars. Soy, vinegar, olive oil, chili, and even just a piece of bronzino, just a nice cooked seared piece of fish, just squeeze lemon over the top, a little bit of sea salt, chive.
This sounds a little expensive. So for the ones that's for the black folks on a budget, bro,
$5 or $1.
You know, how do we eat healthier? Is what I'm asking. What kind of things you think we should?
I'm telling you, I think it's
seafood.
I think
seafood? Okay,
this is it. This is it. I think it's the seafood. It doesn't have to be so crazy expensive. You know, you can go out and you can find a nice piece of bronzino, $7.95 a pound. You buy one fillet, it's a pound, so it's like $10. Right? That might feed two people. So then it's $5 a person. Like, you know, and then you're eating healthy. Squeeze a little lemon over the top.
That's healthy.
Yeah. Red snapper. Right, but let's see. Whiting. I guess the whiting is great. That's all right, because I'm thinking about these fish fries I used to have. Yeah. You know, I'm going back to the fried food with the hot. I mean, that's the best, right?
Yo, just cholesterol years. The clogged artery years, huh? Yeah.
You know, shellfish, oysters.
Yeah.
You know, if you can, oysters in the restaurant get kind of pricey nowadays, but if you can go to a nice fishmonger and get an oyster, you get some oysters. You get a dozen for like $1 a piece.
Should we be concerned with the right now the state of the fish and game industry when it comes to fishing and fish are either being farmed and the growth process is being sped up, or we're finding that it's a lot of plastic in the waters, and the fish are consuming the plastic and therefore becoming more plastic in their systems. Then that's healthy for us as humans. Should we? How do
unhealthy.
Unhealthy. Yeah. How should we navigate that? Is it a big concern?
It's definitely a concern. It's really you really need to just make sure you're doing your research and make sure you're getting your any of your food product from just a reputable source. And you really just got to get into the internet, get into these companies, find out what they're all about, and see exactly what their process is. It definitely takes some time, but if that's something that you're concerned about, then I don't think you have a problem putting forth that effort.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you figure out, okay, so these guys they're doing aquaculture, they're doing it the right way, or. I think that's the most important thing, just to really do the research and make sure you're figuring out exactly if the supplier is a reputable supplier.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I love that Sway kind of asked you to create a personalized menu for the Black community.
Right.
Because I think about often how food is a form of travel.
Right.
But there are a lot of people who just want to hug the block and never go on a plane and explore. You know what I'm saying? But I want to know, Chef, for yourself, because you're working probably more than 5 days a week. This is your profession. When you're at home and you're hungry, do you still enjoy cooking for yourself?
It depends on what's going on. So it's kind of day to day, but there's definitely days where I'm like, listen, I am not cooking nothing.
Word.
There's absolutely not. Yeah, there's I'm like, I'm not even getting out of the kitchen. I'm not going in the kitchen. Forget about it. I don't want to hear it. Leftovers. That's it.
So you're still eating Lord's at home?
If any leftovers from anywhere, sometime I'll have if I have something at the house from Lord, yeah, we'll eat that. My son loves that. We got these chicken lollipops. He's like, Dad, bring me the chicken lollipops. He loves it. But then we'll go. Then I'll get. I'll give you an example. This past weekend, my son was with me, and we went up to the store, and I got a nice rack of lamb.
Yeah.
Right, and it was just him and I cooked the rack of lamb. Then I was like, I don't really feel like eating all this. I just wasn't with it. I was on that salad thing. I was feeling heavy, and I was like, Right, but he loves it. He's like, can I have it with a mustard crusted lamb? And we put the crust on.
Good palate he got on him.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. And then so we had the lamb for dinner. And then the next morning he took a little bit of lamb. He took it to lunch for school. And he came home and then he finished the lamb when he got home from school.
Taking lamb for lunch at school at 12?
Your 12-year-old son ate lamb 3 times in one day.
Better taste than some 35-year-old.
Is he now following in his grandfather's footsteps and father? Is he picking up some things? You think
He's definitely picking up some things. He's definitely has the confidence to get in the kitchen. You got to kind of watch it. The kids around the stove and leaving the gas on and all of that. But he's definitely got the confidence. He definitely wants to learn. But if I have anything to do with it, he won't go into that profession. Hopefully he can jump right into entrepreneur and just take over the business.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of entrepreneur and business, we got Charles on the line from San Diego.
Charles!
He has a business question for you. Say hello to Chef Preston Clark, Charles.
Hey, Charles, how are you, my brother?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Great
morning.
show. Love listening to y'all. It's my first time calling this.
Hold up, Charles. We got a first time caller. Hold up, man. It's a celebration.
Appreciate this. My questions for Question Clark is, with me opening up my food cart here in February, what would be your top 3 things that, advice-wise, that you would give me in starting out this business?
And it's a food truck.
It's a food cart, hopefully to bloom into a food truck. I'm doing Japanese tacos out here.
Japanese
wow,
tacos.
Japanese tacos.
What the hell is
I
that?
want that.
That sounds great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, what's that? That's like your tuna tacos. So you're making it from raw fish, tuna tacos, hamachi tacos, things like that.
So it's going to be Japanese curry. It's going to be salt and pepper shrimp.
Nice.
Bulgogi beef, and then I heard your man's on earlier talking about crab cakes. I got a crab cake taco too, so I can get right in that mix with y'all because I'm originally from B-More, West Side.
Excellent.
Wow.
Congrats.
I would say just make sure that you know your audience. And just position yourself in the best place so that you get the most foot traffic, so people can really try it and you really expose, that cuisine to as many people as you possibly can in the beginning. And don't go for the top dollar right in the beginning. You want to bring the people in, let the buzz get created. People saying, "Oh man, this is delicious," and then you start to think about increasing your profit margin.
Okay. All right.
He sound like he writing that down. Charles writing that shit down.
$1 million advice right there.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Man,
but most definitely, I would say, and another thing I would say is make sure you write the recipes down.
No doubt.
Document the recipes, write them down because what you want is consistency.
Yeah.
Write them down.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, Charles, keep us posted on your success.
Yes, Charles.
Okay?
I appreciate it. Will do.
And if you ever come
good luck to you, my brother.
If you ever come to New York, hit us up. We'll take you to meet Chef Preston Clark personally. I won't even charge you.
No doubt.
All right, brother. You're a super citizen. All right, brother.
Thanks. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Hey, have a good one, man.
Is there such a thing as like culinary biting? Like when somebody take your recipe and ingredient for ingredient recreate it, would they have to give credit to you? Like how does that work?
I mean, it's kind of tight. It gets a little touchy there because a lot of people they say inspiration, and also I don't think there's anything wrong with standing on the shoulders of giants. Mm-hmm. You understand what I mean? So, but and you got Burger King and McDonald's, right? You have McDonald's and Burger King does the same thing. They put the same right next door.
Right.
Some people get upset. It's like, you stole my dish. Like, what do you, and you think that there's a lack of creativity, like. People, if people who are in the know, like on the street, they're gonna know what's up. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but I also, I think there's no problem with standing on the shoulders of giants, and and where people get inspiration from a lot of different places.
Yeah.
It's not like that in comedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Get out. One last thing, because I know we gotta go, Chef. I want to give you credit because our very dear Torie here. We came to your restaurant and we tried to get him to try oysters. He would not. He was like, and I know a lot of young black men don't like oysters. He's like, the texture. I don't want it. And then you came out with that beautiful dish of fried oysters, and Torch was like, "Yo,
went to town."
My first time eating oysters.
Yes,
that was the very first.
Yeah, because he wouldn't try it because of the texture.
Right.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely,
Thank you
absolutely.
for that.
It's always a pleasure. It's always great when you can introduce people to new foods, and new flavors and new flavor profiles that they can expand their culinary horizons, and you're eating different things, and I just makes you a much more well-rounded person. Like you said, food is traveling, and it's there's a lot of foods out here. Some people eat some wild things,
right?
But I think just having the experience and how it makes you feel and where you're eating it, it's all good.
We was gonna crack a joke.
Yes,
with
we
that.
were.
We let that one go. We're gonna be professional.
Appreciate it.
No problem, brother.
Yeah, got you.
I've ate a few wild things in my day.
Wow.
You and me both, baby.
Big time eaters.
My man, Chef Preston Clark. Give him a big round of applause. The corporate executive chef at Lure Fish Bar. If you ever come to New York, citizens,
When you come
to New York,
come down, see me. We'll take care of you.
What's the address?
That's 142 Mercer Street. That's our Mercer Street Hospitality, Lure Fish Bar. We got a bunch of different restaurants. You come see us. We'll take care of you.
Yeah, and make sure you mention Chef Preston Clark and you mention this show.
Sway in the morning.
Would have to be in Tracy G, and he'll treat you like family. I swear, people hear me all the time and say,
nice.
I remember my uncles went there.
They most definitely did.
My uncles went there, and they came. My uncles, Frank and Rod, Uncle Rod, and they thought I was the man. They tell the story.
That's how he makes you feel.
I was like, we went to they call me. They don't call me Sway. They went. I'll just say Jay. Jay, man, we went to that restaurant, man. Man, who do you know, man? Who are you? They was asking me, who am I? What do you mean, who am I? How did you make that happen? You weren't even in town.
Make you feel like a
And
sultan.
they took such good care of us.
Yep.
And that's what it is. It's the hospitality industry. We're here to make people feel special.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Chef Preston Clark,
Appreciate y'all.
This
It's great
our
to be here.
brother.
Thank y'all.
Yo, hey, and then y'all want to hit him up on his social media. Every citizen should hit this guy up. Chef Preston Clark, PrEstonClark. We talk about this. This is not a show. It's more than just a show. It's a network. It's a tribe. It's a community.
Absolutely.
And when we introduce you to folks, please take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Chef Preston Clark. Follow him. ChefPrestonClark. If you come to New York, hit that man up. Thank you for coming by, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate the being here.
Absolutely.